Hello and welcome to another episode of DeDubs Plays. Last week we got lots of detailing done and added plenty of awesome source to the city. Got this lovely garden done behind the cathedral here. We filled out the area alongside the highways here. And we put in lots of nice details throughout this district as well. Now the plan for this week is pretty much non-existent at the moment. I've got lots of projects that I want to be working on, but I'm not sure which one to work on. So some of the things that need to be done, we've got this area here, and I think I've got a bit of an idea of what I want to do with this area, but it might turn out to be a bit of a complicated build and I might have to do a bit of planning for it, so not sure if I want to take that on just yet. We've got a little bit of space here that needs to be filled out, and part of that's going to be with the Metro Plaza station, so I might put some metro lines in today. That could be a plan. We need to stick an interchange in over here, and we've got this little area that needs to be filled out as well. There's a bit of space here that I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with yet, but something needs to go in here because it doesn't feel very complete at the moment. I am planning to finish off the detailing in this area in this episode, but I'll do that in a time lapse. And there's actually a little bit of detailing that I have missed along the cliff top here that also needs to get done today. And then if we move over to this side of the city, we've got these two industry areas that we need to level up and then lay out nicely because yeah, we don't want them to look like this forever. We've got this island over here which I thought would make a nice spot for a nature reserve, so that's a build that we'll need to look at doing at some point in the not too distant future. We've got this little bit of space at the bottom of the island here which is going to have some rail lines running across it, but I'm sure we need to put something else in there as well, and again I've not really decided yet what that's going to be. I want to put an airport in this space here, and down in this direction I want to put in a oil industry area, and then we do need to finish this area off as well, but the plan is still to try and spread out a university throughout this area of the city and make it into a kind of university city. And as I've mentioned before, that's something I want to do after I've got the industry areas in place, just because the industry areas require uneducated workers, so it's going to be easier to fill those job vacancies if we don't have higher education in place just yet. So yeah, lots of ideas, lots of projects that we need to work on, and now it's just a case of deciding where we want to start. Now I think I'm going to start by adding a couple of buildings to the industry areas. We've got about 30 or 40 less workers than we need to level them up to the next level. We do have the jobs available, but only just, and if we create a few more job vacancies, those positions should fill up more quickly. So I'm going to start with a little bit of editing magic and just level this area out slightly more. And just like that, we've created a little bit more space to put some more buildings in. So on this side, I'm just going to pop in a couple of the small tree sapling fields. That's 25 jobs each, so that gives us another 50 positions available here. And then on this side I'm just going to pop in a couple more crop fields. That's only 20 jobs each, but another 40 positions there. And if we pop one of these in as well, that'll make it up to 55 jobs that we've created. So yeah, I think that should be enough to get those two to level up. Let's move on. Okay, wow, that was quick. We created a few more jobs and almost immediately our farm area has leveled up. So let's jump back to that. And there's the forestry area level up. Okay, they were both very quick. So yeah, we're going to add in a few more buildings and create enough job vacancies for the next level up. Okay, so we're going to pop in a medium crop field and a medium fruit field. And we'll stick in a milking parlour as well. So that already creates enough jobs available for us to reach the next level up, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to pop in a couple of these small barns. In terms of the amount of space that they take up to the amount of jobs that they create, I think they're probably the most efficient option that we've got. It's 24 jobs for a very small building, so we'll just throw a couple of those in. There we go, now we've got more than enough jobs in the agricultural area. Let's move on to the forestry area. I'll pop a medium tree plantation in there. and we can get a large log yard in there, but that hasn't created nearly enough jobs this time. Now in terms of the jobs to worker ratio, I think our best option for this one is some more sawmills. They're the smallest buildings that we've got available with the highest number of jobs. This one actually has 70 jobs, but it's a much larger asset, so yeah, we're going to go with a couple more sawmills. I think we can just squeeze 2 of them in here. Perfect. And yeah, now we've got plenty of jobs available. Okay, so before that happened, I was just looking over here at putting in the Metro Plaza station. As you can see, I've leveled off the area slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this section of road with a piece of tram track road like that. And then we'll extend this road down this way a little bit. And we'll pop our Metro Plaza station in. Right about there looks good, I think. So I want to put in a big long loop of metro that's going to go all the way along this side up here, and then it's going to come back down this way along the top here, and then around here, and then back to here. So it'll create a loop that will give pretty much everyone in this part of the city access to the metro line. So now I need to choose where to put some stations in. So I'm going to start by putting in some of the nicer stations, and I think the Sunken Island platform metro station would go really nicely here. It's a really good fit. And yeah, I think that looks good. I think the Sunken Dual Island platform metro station would go well here. Having the second line in there might come in useful. We might be able to connect another metro loop near the high density residential areas that we've got here, which could be useful in the future. And then we've got the Sunken Bypass metro station, which I think would go well right about here. This would give it good access to the passenger rail line there, and I'm probably going to add some more higher density housing here. We've also got footbridges to the high density residential just over here, which are fairly close as well. So yeah, I think that'll work quite nicely there. And then we're just going to put in a few of the base game ones here and there. I think this is a good spot. We're close to the schools. Again, we've got pedestrian access across the highway there, so I think that'll be a handy spot. I think just here near the theme park is a good idea. Also got good access to the forestry industry area there. We can add some footpaths to make that easier for people to get to. We can pop one in just here. Good access for the residential area there, and also for the farming industry area here. And then I think having one somewhere around about this position is a good idea as well. I think I'll probably want to put another passenger rail station around here somewhere, so we can have some more interconnectivity between transit types. And obviously we've got the high density residential and high density commercial areas here as well. So, and I've also mentioned that I'm going to put an industry area around here as well. I think that'll be a really good spot to have a station. So yeah, let's connect these up. Okay, I feel like it's a good idea to add another station just there. Okay, so there we go. We've got a bit of a tight bend just here, but the rest of it's pretty smooth flowing. Comes around here, up around here, back around here, and then all the way down to the other end of the city, and loops back again, and back to the Metro Plaza station. So now let's get a line in, or a couple of lines in. And we can see we're already getting some good use on the metro system there. Got lots of Cims walking around, and again, loads of Cims using that metro station there. And using the footpaths as well. Everywhere you look in this city you can see people walking around using the footpaths. I love to see it. If you imagine every single one of these people could potentially be using a car, how much traffic that's taken off of the roads. That's probably my number one traffic fixing tip, is just get rid of the traffic. If you can get your Cims walking and using public transport instead of using cars, you're saving hundreds of car journeys. And that everywhere we look we've got people using footpaths. It's just fantastic to see. Yeah, provide that walkability in your cities and provide good public transit systems. When you see all these people walking around the city and imagine how many car journeys are being saved, it's just a joy to watch. I love it. Look at that. I've added a janky little footbridge here just to get people across from the metro station to the forestry area. This will change when I change the forestry area. It's only a temporary solution, but yeah, we want to give the pedestrians good access there. Again, providing that walkability. Okay, I've just had a quick look at the industry areas here, and we've got the jobs available. They are slowly but surely filling up, but our unemployment level is now down to about 7%. So we might find that we need to add more residential before we're able to get enough citizens in our city to fill those jobs. We'll see how it goes. We'll leave it for the time being. But the next thing that I want to move on to, I've just been talking about how removing the traffic is my number one traffic tip. My number two traffic tip is to spread out the high traffic generating areas, which is why we've got industry over here, we're going to have more over here, and we're going to have more over here. Lots of small industrial areas that are well spaced out so that we're not concentrating on all of that industrial traffic in one area. But again, part of that is going to be having good alternatives to using roads. So we need to link up this rail line here and put in a station over here that can serve these two industrial areas. And that will allow at least some of the goods to be moved via rail instead of road. So I think I need to start with some editing magic and level out some of this land here. Okay, that should do for the time being, at least enough to get us started. We might need to make some tweaks to it as we go along, but we'll see how we go. Right, so we need the line to go over the road here, so we'll start with that, and I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then I think we're going to come down in lengths of 10 and come down one step at a time. Is that going to be okay? I think that'll be fine. Come off here with the curved. We want to bring that in pretty close to the fence there. I think that should do. Oh. And then we'll meet up with that. Okay, I don't like that curve. I think that's a bit too steep, so we're going to take that out. Okay, so we're going to come off of this node and draw it up to there, pop it in, and then we'll sort this curve out. Okay, so if we go from about there, I mean, I am a little bit of a perfectionist, so you might not want to go to this much effort. I think it's worth the effort. That slope looks much nicer, and that curve looks much nicer too. I'm happy with that. Okay, so this end. Okay, so this side's going to be a little bit more tricky because we're going to need the rail to curve at the same time as the slope descends. So we're going to have to judge it a bit more by eye. So this node marker here should be 20 units, and if that's curved then it'll probably come to around about here. So we're going to go down to 1 step for there, and then we're going to come out. I think actually I want to be a bit further away from that. Let's go about there. Yeah, I think that's good, and then we'll hook up to that. Okay, so for this one the marker is just about there, but I want it to be slightly more curved in, and that's going to be really difficult with the snapping on, so we just need to switch the road guidelines off there, and then I think the position is going to be approximately where that tree is there, so we'll just go from there and then go by eye and hook it into that. And yeah, again I think we've got a nice smooth curve, smooth slope there. So the rail needs to go off in that direction. So I think the station itself, okay, so I think it wants to be positioned roughly like that. Let's give that a go and see how it works. Okay, I think the angle of that road is fine, but it needs to go a little bit further back. So we're going to push this out a little bit further. And we're going to put that road in again. Yep, okay, I think that works. Yep, we're going to put it there. Okay, so now we want to connect the 2 pieces of rail up. Is that the best way to see it? Let's put the oh, they are on. Okay, so I'll put those on. And then on this side we should be able to get a nice curved bridge going across here and have it run parallel with the highway over this side. Well, we don't need that bit in just yet, so we can leave that for now. Now I know that I want to have a piece of road going underneath this bridge, so I'm just going to level this land up underneath here. So we've got a nice place to build that road. Okay, so here we're going to use the slope tool. I'm going to set a mark just about there, and then we'll just come up from here. I need the intensity up. There we go. So that should be a good place to put a road. We've got a reasonable looking grade there. And then on this side, just level this out. Oh, that was the wrong thing. We'll just level this out a little bit more. We'll go all the way up to there, and then again with the slope tool, put the mark up there, and then we'll slope up like that. And again, I think that's a reasonable looking grade. I'm going to use an industrial road underneath here. Now I don't like that grade, so I'm just going to redraw that entire section. I'm going to redo the landscape in here. I think we'll put some more of the slope tool in, widen that up a little bit. And then we'll try and draw that road in again and see how it looks. Yeah, that's much smoother. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. And the reason I just wanted to put this in now is just so that the infrastructure's there, so that once these areas have leveled up and I want to design them in a nice way, I've already got the infrastructure in place to build around, and I don't have to try and work that out after the fact, as it were. And since it's here, we might as well hook it up and get them to start using it. So I just need to pop in a power line. Obviously layout's going to change here, so that's a temporary power line. And now we can switch this one on. And I think we're just going to pop in a couple of warehouses so that the goods have actually got somewhere to go. Let's put a little bit of space either side, and we'll level this hillside down a little bit so we've got some space for one on this side as well. Yeah, I think this is okay, this works. There we go. Right, so we're going to set these warehouses so that one of them is getting generic industry goods, and the other one is getting finished factory products. There we are. And those are just to aid with the distribution of the goods. Now ideally we want this road to connect up to this road at some point as well, but I'm not sure what I'm doing with the rail in this direction just yet, so we'll leave that for the time being. It also occurs to me that some of this is going to be travelling over here to get onto the highway, so it won't be as much of an issue once we've got the external rail connection, because instead of trying to get onto the highway to get out of the city, it will just go to the external cargo station. But yeah, I think for now it might cause a little bit of a traffic problem, because some of the goods from this side are going to be travelling by rail here and then getting onto the road to go onto the highway out of the city. I'll need to keep an eye on it. There we go, first cargo train. Where's all that traffic going? Some of it's coming to the forestry area. But yeah, as I suspected, the vast majority of it is going directly onto the highway. That's fine, it's fine. It's a temporary problem. Once we've got the external cargo rail, then they won't all be trying to get onto the highway here. Also, that highway connection eventually is going to prevent a lot of that, because they'll just get straight onto the highway here if they want to use the highway to leave the city. So I have this little space here, and I really don't know what I'm going to do with this little space here. So if anybody's got any ideas about what we should do with this space, leave them in the comments for me, let me know. It's not a very big area. Obviously we've got a large industrial park on one side and a amusement park on the other side. So yeah, I'm a bit stumped for what would fit in this area, to be honest. Yeah, any ideas, leave them in the comments for me. I would definitely appreciate some suggestions. So whilst I was thinking about what I'm going to do next, I went through and I named a few of the districts. Now, returning viewers will know that every week I like to recommend a creator that inspires me, and so I've been through and named some of the districts after the creators that I've recommended so far. First person I recommended was the Frustrated Canadian, so we've got Frustrated Canadian Heights here. Snapdragon Cities is next to him. Snapdragon does a UK themed city on PC with some mods, and he's a really entertaining creator, always makes me laugh, definitely worth a watch. We've got Shukaboa, who I recommended last week. He's got his 100% Vanilla Baby series, which really just stretches the limits of what's possible with Vanilla Cities Skylines. Definitely worth a watch if you're playing Vanilla, definitely worth a watch anyway. We've got Ack Amusements, which is named for Ack Original, and when I recommended Ack, I said about how much of a genuinely nice guy he is, but I didn't really talk much about his channel. He does realistic builds, some really cool stuff. He did realistic ore mine recently, and the episode before that was a realistic lake which just looked stunning. So yeah, do take a look at his channel. Roscoe Beach is named after just Roscoe's channel, another British creator doing a British themed build on PC version. Again, well worth a look. And then if we head over to this side, we've got Grattles Park. Grattles is currently doing a no highway city, and looks really cool. She's done a few airport builds recently, not just for our own city but for a couple of collaborative series as well, and she's become a bit of an airport master, to be honest. She's done some really cool airport builds. And then over here we have Joy Square for Joy Build Cities. I'm a huge fan of Joy's detailing work. Everything she details just looks absolutely stunning. So again, somebody really worth checking out. They're all smaller channels, but they're all well worth checking out. And I've gotten to know all of these guys over the past couple of months or so that I've been creating content, and they're just genuinely nice people, always helping each other out and supporting each other. And yeah, it's been an honour to get to know them all. This week's creator is a little bit different. This week's creator is not by any means a small channel. However, this week's recommended creator did take the time to go and watch one of my episodes and come back to me with some really good feedback. So I have to give him a shout out and a thank you for that, because I really appreciate that he took the time to do that for me. So Biffa needs no introduction at all. I'm sure you probably already know who Biffa is if you're watching City Skyline content, but as I say, he took the time to come and watch one of my episodes, subscribed to my channel, and gave me some really good feedback, and I'm really grateful that he took the time to do that. So we're going to name this district after Biffa. There we go, Biffa Row. As usual, I will link his channel in the description. Not that he's hard to find, but yes, there's lots more creators that are smaller channels that I will be recommending in their coming episodes. And to those friends that haven't yet had a recommendation from me, don't worry, they are coming. Okay, so I think the next thing I'm going to do is a quick decorating time lapse. I'll do this district here, and I'll also get the little spaces along the cliff top here that I missed done whilst I'm at it. So let's jump into the time lapse. Okay, we've added lots of awesome source to this area now as well. We've got lots of nice little details in there. I've used a lot of the smaller plants in this area. I think it gives it a more distinct feel for this district, with the decorating as well as the buildings being quite individual. We've made this nice little pattern over here. Got lots of nice, neat, manicured kind of decorating throughout the paths between the buildings here as well. Some nice little touches like this little fountain area at the end here. Nice little symmetrical pattern at the crossroads here. And we've got this little plaza area at the back here as well. Similar story along here. Again, lots of the smaller plants to decorate the area, carrying that distinctive decorating theme through all of the Green Cities buildings. And again, another little fountain area there. Did a bit more rock detailing on the cliffside here, and then filled out some trees, and then I put the elder care and the child care centre there. Nice little fence around it, nice little garden in there as well. And then near the edges we have put a lot more of the bigger trees just to blend it into the surrounding areas and give it a nice transition. All in all, I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out, and I think the city's coming together really nicely now. Even from up here it's looking pretty. But I think I am going to call it an episode there. In the next episode I think I'm going to start on the airport build. Don't forget to check out Biffa. I'll leave the link in the description, and indeed don't forget to check out all of the other creators that I've recommended in previous episodes as well. And remember, the best way to deal with the traffic in your city is to get those people walking. If they're not using cars, they're not blocking up the roads. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you'd like to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button as well, and I will catch you in the next one.